Now, 100 years after a British mountaineer disappeared on an expedition to Mount Everest, climbers appear to have found his remains. Andrew Irvine, who went missing with the renowned explorer George Mallory, whose body was, of course, found in 1999.
For 100 years, Everest has been more than just a mountain. It's been a graveyard, a mystery, and a monument to human obsession. Climbers vanish, their bodies later found preserved in the ice, eyes frozen open in silent testimony. Whispers travel through the wind, and footprints appear in places no living soul could reach. But in 2024, something truly disturbing surfaced. Glaciers, once locked in silence, began to melt, revealing secrets hidden for over a century. Not just the frozen remains of climbers, but relics of an expedition long believed lost. Suddenly, history itself was up for debate. What did Mallory and Irvine really discover in 1924? Did they reach the top decades before Hillary? And why is Everest, for the first time ever, being closed down? Not just because of danger, but because of something that has scientists, climbers, and governments genuinely afraid. A mystery buried in ice. Mount Everest towers at over 29,000 feet, where oxygen thins and temperatures plunge to 40 degrees below zero. Locals revere it as Chomolungma, goddess mother of the world. For decades, it was believed that Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay were the first to reach the summit in 1953. But what if that isn't true? In 1924, George Mallory and Andrew Irvine set out with primitive gear and modified oxygen tanks. They were last seen climbing strongly toward the summit. Then the clouds swallowed them, and they vanished. 75 years later, Mallory's body was discovered face down on the mountain, rope still around his waist, one leg broken. His snow goggles were in his pocket, suggesting he'd been descending in darkness. But the photo of his wife Ruth, which he swore to leave at the summit, was missing. The real breakthrough came in 2024. As glaciers receded, a leather boot emerged. Inside, a foot marked with red stitching, O.C. Irvine. A century after his disappearance, Irvine's remains surfaced, but the camera he carried, potential proof of the summit, remains lost. Now, Everest isn't just a mountain, it's a locked vault of secrets. With every inch of melting ice, it's beginning to tell a story that could change everything we thought we knew. Spirits of the mountain. Pemba Sherpa was one of the fastest climbers ever to summit Everest. In 2004, he raced from base camp to the top in record time. But days later, while descending through the death zone, something happened that would haunt him forever. As he rested near a pile of rocks, dark shapes began forming around him. They looked like people, silent figures reaching toward him, as if begging for help. Pemba believed they were the spirits of climbers who died on the mountain, their souls trapped because their bodies were never properly buried. With more than 200 corpses frozen into Everest, the Sherpas say the mountain is filled with restless ghosts. Scientists offer a different explanation. At extreme altitudes, the brain is starved of oxygen. Blood oxygen levels can fall to 40% of normal, causing hallucinations and confusion. But what puzzles researchers is how climbers from different countries and eras report almost identical experiences. Feeling a presence beside them, hearing voices, or sensing someone guiding them through the storm. This is known as the third man factor, a phenomenon first described by Antarctic explorer Ernest Shackleton. On Everest, it has appeared many times. Some climbers say the presence gives warmth, encouragement, and even survival advice in the darkest moments. Whether it's oxygen deprivation or something far stranger, many who have faced Everest's highest slopes insist they were never truly alone. The death zone. Above 26,247 feet lies the deadliest part of Everest, the death zone. This isn't just a dramatic name. Here, the air is so thin the body begins to shut down the moment you arrive. Heart rates soar, digestion halts, brain function deteriorates. Even with oxygen, most climbers can survive here for only 16 to 20 hours. More than 344 climbers have died on Everest, and over 200 bodies remain frozen in place, too dangerous and expensive to retrieve. Each corpse tells a story. One of the most famous is Green Boots, believed to be Indian climber Tsiwang Paljor. His bright green mountaineering boots became a landmark on the northeast ridge. For years, climbers had to step over his body to continue. Nearby is Rainbow Valley, a deceptively beautiful name for a graveyard of colorful down suits. It's not flowers or flags dotting the snow, but the preserved bodies of those who didn't make it back. There's Maurice Wilson, who tried to climb the mountain alone in 1934 after fasting and praying for divine strength. His diary reads, "Off again, gorgeous day." His body resurfaces every few years as glaciers shift. Then there's David Sharp. In 2006, he died in Green Boots Cave, while over 40 climbers passed by. His final words were, "I just want to sleep." It became a moment that shook the climbing world and forced everyone to ask, how far are we willing to go for the summit? When the mountain's guardians attack. On April 27, 2013, Mount Everest became the setting for the highest altitude fight in human history. 3 elite European climbers, Simone Moro, Ueli Steck, and Jonathan Griffith, were assaulted by nearly 100 furious Sherpas. Rocks flew, fists landed, a knife was thrown. The Sherpas yelled, "Now we kill you!" What triggered the ambush? The Europeans had climbed the Lhotse face while Sherpas were fixing ropes, work considered sacred and incredibly dangerous. The Sherpas warned no one should climb during this time, but the trio continued anyway. When they returned to camp, they were met with rage. Only the intervention of American climber Melissa Arnault, who stepped between the groups, prevented bloodshed. The Europeans were forced to apologize and leave the mountain. To understand the fury, you must understand the Sherpas. They're not just porters, they're a people shaped by Everest, physically and spiritually. Their blood carries oxygen more efficiently, and their culture reveres the mountain as the home of the goddess Myolang Sangma. Every climb begins with a puja ceremony to ask permission to ascend. But despite risking their lives far more often, Sherpas earn less and receive little recognition. When an avalanche killed 16 of them in 2014, the Nepalese government offered meager compensation. In protest, Sherpas canceled the climbing season. Kami Rita, who summited Everest 31 times, embodies their strength. But even he admits the mountain has changed, and the balance between reverence and profit has tipped dangerously far. Yeti footprints and the creatures of Everest. In 1951, British climbers Eric Shipton and Michael Ward were scouting the Menlung Glacier when they spotted something bizarre. Massive footprints, unlike anything they'd ever seen. 12 inches long and twice the width of a human foot. The prints showed a short, wide, big toe and several smaller ones. They followed the tracks for nearly a mile. With no measuring tools, Shipton photographed Ward's boot beside one of the prints. That image became the most iconic evidence of the Yeti, a creature said to stalk the Himalayas. Sherpa legend supports its existence. And Tenzing Norgay, who was on that same expedition, claimed his father had seen a Yeti twice. Modern science offers other answers. A 2017 genetic study analyzed 9 Yeti samples. 8 came from bears, 1 from a dog. But even the researchers admitted something strange. Himalayan brown bears genetically diverged from all others 650,000 years ago. They're rare, reclusive, and possibly the source of the myth. Still, anomalies remain. Shipton collected fur samples that don't match known species, and climbers continue to report strange movements in the snow, low growls in the dark, and figures seen through the fog. Too tall, too fast, too silent to be human. Everest is home to creatures that shouldn't exist. Tiny Himalayan jumping spiders live at 22,000 feet. Bar-headed geese fly over the mountain in a single day. And somewhere, on slopes where no person should walk barefoot, something else might still be watching. Secrets at the summit. When Edmund Hillary reached the top of Everest in 1953, he collected limestone samples from the summit. What scientists later discovered inside those rocks stunned the world. Fossils of marine life. Creatures that once swam in a warm tropical sea were now embedded in the highest point on Earth. How is that possible? Around 200 million years ago, all continents were fused into one, Pangaea. Between the landmasses lay the Tethys Sea, rich with ocean life. Over time, India broke away and drifted north. About 50 million years ago, it slammed into Asia with enough force to crumple Earth's crust and push seafloor sky high. The Himalayas were born, and Everest still rises 5 millimeters per year. The yellow band near the summit, streaked with fossilized ocean remains, is a permanent reminder of this unimaginable collision. But Everest hides more than just geology. In 1952, rumors swirled of a secret Soviet expedition. 35 climbers, camps near 27,000 feet, and 6 deaths in an avalanche. Authorities denied it ever happened. Yet bodies sometimes surface on Everest that no expedition ever reported missing. In 2017, while searching for a Slovak climber, Sherpas discovered 4 unidentified corpses in a tent at Camp 4. No climbers were declared lost that year. No one knows who they were. The mountain forgets nothing, but it doesn't give up its secrets easily. Final tragedies of Everest. Ueli Steck was a legend, nicknamed the Swiss Machine for his unbelievable speed and precision on deadly climbs. He shattered records and scaled faces others feared. But in April 2017, Steck set out to summit both Everest and neighboring Lhotse without supplemental oxygen. During a solo acclimatization climb on Nuptse, he vanished. Hours later, his body was found 1,000 meters below. No one saw what happened. Then there's Marco Siffredi, a French snowboarder obsessed with the Hornbein Couloir, Everest's steepest descent. In 2001, he became the first to snowboard from the summit. But in 2002, he returned for the couloir. After summiting, he disappeared into the clouds. Sherpas watched a figure vanish silently down the slope. His body has never been found. Even as skill and technology improve, Everest keeps claiming lives. In 2023 alone, 17 climbers died, one of the deadliest seasons on record. And Everest is changing. The South Col Glacier has thinned by over 54 meters in just 25 years. Trash litters the slopes, over 110 tons of garbage removed since 2019. Human waste, discarded tents, and corpses thawing from the ice paint a grim picture. Starting in 2025, climbers must carry GPS trackers. Solo climbs are banned. Still, each spring, hundreds return, walking the same paths where Wilson died with a diary, where Sharp begged to sleep, and where Siffredi vanished forever. Everest continues to rise, and it continues to take. Every spring, new climbers arrive, drawn by challenge, legacy, or something deeper. They step over forgotten graves, past Rainbow Valley's faded colors, through the death zone where air turns deadly. Above them, fossils of sea creatures whisper of a time before mountains. Below them, secrets stir beneath melting ice. Everest is not just a peak, it's a mirror reflecting human obsession, mystery, and mortality. And it's still not done revealing its truth. So, what do you think really happened to Mallory and Irvine? And are the voices in the snow just tricks of the mind, or something else entirely? Let us know in the comments.